kind of trending back in the right direction.
Yeah.
I got my thoughts about it, but where do you want to start with this album? Do you just want to go overall some songs that you enjoyed from it?
This is easily the digest right here, man. 12 songs, 38 minutes. Called is Danger Mouse and Black Thought.
Press real quick.
Codes. They've been kind of they've been dropping the song here and there periodically over the past like month and a half.
Aquamarine.
Been digesting it a little bit. So kind of had a couple songs on there that I can kind of go ahead and like kind of heard. I can see where they kind of fit and I can just keep moving forward. So easily digestible album for the type of artist that he is. Older artist, kind of was overlooked for years, like in like the mainstream and stuff like this. Well, I mean, they own the show. They actually get paid. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know how many mainstream hits, like they ain't really got too many mainstream hits like that. And then when you talk about top five, it takes true hip hop heads to kind of bring up like his name in those talks. Everybody else kind of overlooking because they're going to go with what they'd heard all the time. Right. But I think this did a good thing to like cement them into those people who do praise him. This is only going to add to that catalog of where you can point people to and say, hey, go check out this song on the Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse, for one thing. I didn't know about this guy until like that Gray album they did with the Jay-Z and the Beatles. So I think that was around about 2004. That's the first time I kind of heard of him. Haven't really heard much of him since then or did anything else with him. Like you hear him on a song here and there, but I think this is the first time I've seen him like come back to like hip hop and curate an actual album. And I think this was a great person to pair up with for his sound. I got 8 songs that I really liked out of this, out of 12 song catalog. It's good. I would suggest it to a lot of people, but I mean, like 8 songs that I really, really enjoy out of this. If I was going to condense it down in a little bit, that was Sometimes. Then The Darkest Part featuring Raekwon and Kid Sister, No Gold Teeth, Because featuring Joey Badass and Rush. Belize featuring MF Doom, Strangers featuring ASAP Rocky and Run the Jewels, Close to Famous, and Violas and Lupidus.
Yeah, same here. I mean, Pros, I really enjoyed this project from the standpoint of just sometimes like keeping consistent with the sound of the album. Like I've heard a lot of people saying, hey, this is really why. I saw one response to it and I was like, yo, they kind of got a point, but they don't. So the point that this individual came with, and it was a random Twitter person. So sometimes people was just trolling, but sometimes they got points and you can value it to where there wasn't a whole lot of hooks and things like that. Like it wasn't a whole lot of full songs. Black Thought stuck to what he does best. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't understand what was wrong with that. You know what I mean? So often at times we want guys like Black Thought or Andre 3000 just to get out there. You ain't got to make the typical record. You know what I mean? Just make what you comfortable with for a condensed amount of time, 10 to 12 songs. I mean, that's what Nas has been doing with Hit Boy since he returned. It's like, Nas is a little bit more. He has the hooks and stuff like that, but sprinkled in there. But they're doing different things to change the dynamic in those songs to where you don't even care about traditional sounding hip hop hook, intro, those the typical bridges and the R&B artists. Like this ain't that. And Tariq ain't never been that. So why would you expect that? Like this is just straight up dope ass hip hop. Like you said, starting off with Sometimes. I've heard that flip so many times. And a lot of these flips I've heard plenty of times. I think the Sometimes one resonates with me because I heard it on a 1st and 15th Lupe Fiasco mixtape a really, really long time ago. And every time I hear that beat, it's just like I enjoy it. And I go back to listen to that Lupe Fiasco song, But as you get into it, man, the Raekwon verse was fire. I think the only feature that I really wasn't rocking with is probably because he's not here anymore and it's an old verse was the MF Doom one. You know what I mean? That's the only one I was like, all right. But I still like the song overall. That's the only feature that I really wasn't rocking with. But I think everybody came with it. I like that he had included Russ on there. A lot of people talk about Russ, but I think he came in with a dope verse as well. A$AP Rocky, Hold on.
That was the same song, yeah.
Yeah, same song.
No,
You
no,
know
no,
what I mean?
that was
No,
Joey
no, that was
Badass who
another
was on
song.
that.
ASAP Rocky, and then you have
ASAP Rocky was on the one with Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels, and then Conway the Machine with Saltwater. And then I like Aquamarine. Like I've liked that song since it dropped as a appetizer for the project. So overall, this is my new term is this is that Monday through Thursday music. You know what I mean? That'll get you through the week. In terms of just if you're trying to just listen to some chill hip hop vibes. And that's really what you can come to expect. It's just elite level lyricism by Black Thought. And this is the reason why he is in a lot of hip hop heads top 5 overall, like Prez said earlier. Like you're going to hear this a lot. And I think this will be in a lot of people's top 5 because from the beats, the bars, and just the features, like that's what people in my little hip hop ecosystem been talking about. Not the game and not anything else that dropped this week outside of some indie artists. So I rocks with it. I suggest y'all listen to it.
This was like a detriment to the game, in my opinion, because like on those songs, like said, Home Invasion, like where he's trying to just like showcase that he can like really rap. It's just like, but you did this on the same week Black Dog came out, and it's like it's not no comparison. So when you're trying to like, oh look, I can kill rap, I'm like one of these rap elites. Like, nah, bro, not when this week you compare it to this guy, and it's like, nah.
Yeah, and it's just I'm just comparing.
You're good. You ain't great.
And I can listen to both, right? They make 2 totally different types of music, right? And I get that. It's
like I said, like when you go into that neck to neck, if you're gonna put it like on that neck to neck rapping, like who I think would like really, I don't know. I don't think you're winning going against Black Thought.
If Black Thought chose the correct like if Black Thought had some somebody that would give him production that's more palatable to the everyday listener sound, I don't think that's where Black Thought really goes for.
You're getting it twisted. I'm saying like how like on Home Invasion and the Slim Shady, how he's coming at the little, like he's trying to say like he's one of the elite rappers on the freestyle little front. I'm saying you put Black Thought down in front of the mic and like let's go freestyle and then game freestyle like right there. It's just like nah.
Yeah, because Black Thought's freestyle from like 2-3 years ago is still making its rounds, and I think Game did he go up to LA Leakers yet? I could have sworn he did, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago. But again, man, like we what are we talking about?
That's me comparing. Ain't it must happen. This is like all hypothetical and all this little stuff. So who knows? All I'm saying, but like when you give me those type of tracks and then I compare it to then I go listen at this and I'll be like, ooh, nah.
It's the consistent.
I kind of like those other tracks a little bit less now, even more. After coming to this, so
it's the consistency, Prez. That's why I like the flow of an album, the flow of a project is so important. It don't matter what sound you go into because hip hop has many different layers. In terms of what sound you got I'll just keep it there. They have many different layers. If you remain consistent in whatever you going for on a project, people may rock with it. But when you try to touch all these different genres and sets of people, that's when, unless you just strike gold with doing that's when that shit could be a detriment to you. A lot of times I've seen people fail at trying to be everything to everybody on a project as opposed to just making a consistent body of work. Yeah. That's the difference.
If you had that, man, that thing should have been chopped up into like 5 little micro albums or little
EPs, something like
EPs and released like that. And I think it would have went over a lot better. But as an overall album, nah. It was very disappointing, man. I wasn't asking for a Game album. It got dropped. Was a little bit, but I could tell you right off jump. Like, man, I clicked on it and I was like, 30 songs, an hour and 55 minutes. I don't know if he got past that mind, that thought process in my mind right now. It's just like, that's a long album for a lot of people right now, especially like the way people attention span and how everything got our attention span a little bit quick. And music comes out so frequently. Like I was just looking like, bro, like I'm not even going to get to listen to nothing else this weekend. It's like, this is going to be kind of it. And it was just like, bro. So if I was a super, super diehard fan, all I want to listen to is Game. That's it. But like I like all hip hop, so I didn't want to live here for
No, I'm
6
good.
hours.
Yeah, I'm good,
over
man.
a weekend,
Which I did. Yeah, and it is what it is. We pick two. We're trying to pick 2 to 3 albums. We're not trying to talk about every single album, and we'll get to some of the other albums on our downtime. Like, we're not trying to keep up anymore. So that's kind of our new agreement is we're going to pick 2, 3 albums. We're going to listen to them we're going to listen to them enough times, regardless of what we think about them. And then we're gonna move on. But that's kind of where the podcast is headed, man. So anything else you want to mention to the people of some of the stuff that's not listed as just quick suggestions to kind of get them on the right path on whatever they into?
I wish I did. I wish I had something else.
Wish I had time.
Last week I was prepping for something else that we kind of working on. So I was in another zone, listening to some older music. So I didn't really gravitate to nothing new. Something that we working on that's going to come out later on down the line. And then this one just engulfed my whole weekend, all my free time that I had this weekend. So, unfortunately, no, I don't have anything else, Cash. I will get y'all the playlist though, the slim down Prez version. I'm pretty sure Cash will give you his slim down version as well. I don't think it's going to be up there for the episode that's going to be out as soon as the episode come out, but I will go back and add it in later on down the line once I got it created later on in the week. So
it's
in the description.
For sure. I just want to add a few people drop some projects and or singles just from the independent scene. So it's been a while since we got to interview a few people. But now that I'm back up and running and we more consistent, we'll be able to kind of flex to whether if it's Prez interviewing, me interviewing, or us together, we'll be able to kind of incorporate that a little bit more into our weekly or bonus episodes as we move along. But a few people dropped. I know Hype dropped a single, The Power of You, dope track. Numbs and Furious Styles, they dropped Reloaded, so go check that out. And then also KJ, he dropped a project, and I want to give you guys the name real quick as I go through it. Of course, Incognito. And then last but not least, a couple weeks ago, I've been off. So Joaquin the Divine, Black Sun Tzu. So they on the same team there. So they dropped a project. So that's what I've been checking for, meaning to kind of get more into before we try to have them on a pod. But I mean, shit ton of other people who've dropped stuff. So, but those are just the ones that's next up on my radar to fully listen to and devote my time to.
Okay. With that, man, it was a long pod because of a long album.
We made it game.
Yeah. Until next week, man. Catch y'all later.
All right, peace.